Hey there. Welcome to Rev on the Mat. I'm gonna touch the screen. What did I do? Back up. There we go. All right, don't touch the screen. All right, we'll see how that angle is. You're gonna want that. All right. You are free to leave your shoes on or take them off, whatever is comfortable to you. We're going to mostly be on our mats tonight. Wherever you want to be. So, all right. Thanks for coming, guys. And so we are in a series. So what I'm trying to do is 6 weeks at a time. And that way I can learn a couple of things, practice them over and over again. So they're all written down. I'm still reading from it. But we're learning all together, Pretty soon I'll be stronger at this. But so for 6 weeks, approximately, we are going to just kind of do some of the same moves over and over again, just in different orders. But so I'm studying the Proverbs. And so the challenge is to do one a day. So today we are on Proverbs 10. And Proverbs 10 happens to be the first time, because the first part of Proverbs, I did not realize for 10 whole chapters was almost like that letter to Solomon's kids. Like, hey, my son, listen to me. I'm going to tell you about this. Hey, my son, I'm going to listen to me. I'm going to tell you about this. So then all of a sudden we get to Proverbs 10, and now we're in those little snippets that I typically thought about what a proverb was, like a little riddle, right? But they tend to contradict each other. One says a wise person is like this, and then the next 2 or 3 down, it says a foolish person is like this. I don't know what you're trying to tell me, but we need wisdom, which is the whole point of Proverbs. So the things that I heard a lot of, close to that, I'm gonna bring. Things that I heard a lot of in this Proverbs were about the mouth, lips. Any better? Okay, yeah, that's fine, yeah. Our broader words about being honest, about the intent of our heart, and laziness. So even though there was a lot of verses in this chapter, those were kind of the 4 keys. Okay, let's see if I can lay back this way without us ringing. So, all right, go ahead and find yourself a comfy spot on your mat. Begin to breathe. All right, those are the exact words. Lay on your mat and find a comfortable position. Quiet your mind. Breathe in nice and slow. See if you can count to 4. And out for 4. If you sigh, that's okay. God gave you a voice box for a reason. If you grunt and groan during any of this, that's okay. We are made in His image, which means we have breath and sound, and we take up space. Okay, find your breath. Try to see if you can inflate only the top third of your lungs. You might feel your shoulders rise toward your ears or towards the ceiling. Feel space around your heart. You're really focusing on something that you hardly ever focus on. In the silence of this space, invite God to meet you here. Okay, now I want you to find your breath again and see if you can just do the middle third of your chest. So we're not quite into our tummy, but we're kind of at the bottom of our lung rib cage. Simply allowing your chest to expand. You might feel your ribs. You want to lay your hand on your side. See if they move outwards. See if you can even notice your diaphragm pulling, pushing. All right, now I want you to try to send your breath fully into your tummy. Let your tummy rise. Fill your lungs all the way from the very top to the very bottom. Now on an exhale, I want you to begin to rock your pelvis. Your feet are about hip distance apart. Your feet are also flat on the mat. And you're going to start to curl your pelvis towards your head. And then you rock it gently back. So it's just a very small movement. That's what a lot of Pilates is. It's not big movements. They're actually very small, but they're very focused. So you're just rocking your pelvis, paying attention to your body. I gave you a good body. Sometimes bad news gets trapped inside of our good bodies. And Pilates helps us to focus on small changes that will help us both in daily function and long-term function. You might notice some sticky spots in your low back, maybe in your legs or your ankles. All right, on this exhale, I want you to go ahead and lift your tail up into a bridge. Okay, you are doing your own work. You're not focusing on anybody else. Roll yourself down one vertebrae at a time. Take a big inhale. Exhale. All right, inhale at the bottom, and then we're going to exhale and lift again. Okay, we're trying to focus on keeping our hips at an even level. So look down there if you can. See if they're balanced. One hip isn't tipped one way or the other. If it is, just try to refigure yourself. Okay, you're going to roll gently through the bones on your back, one vertebrae at a time down to your mat. Come down to your mat and breathe. All right, go ahead and rock back up again. So if you've had any injuries, back pain, scoliosis, you might find that some of these moves are more difficult. You might find some sticky points. Your job is just to begin to notice that. I think that's what a lot of, go ahead and roll back down. A lot of becoming more aware of my body is just like paying attention to how I feel, and allowed me to go ahead and lift again, to be able to just pay attention more in other situations, because I actually started noticing what was happening inside my body as I exercised. Okay, roll yourself back down. Okay, now as we do this next lift, we're going to inhale, lift, and then we're going to pull our arms up and over our heads. Try to stretch your knees a little further away from your hips. Nice and long breath. Bring your arms back down and roll to the back. I know. You gotta focus. All right. Take a breath in again and lift. Arms up and over your head. Breathe, squeeze that booty. And arms back down and roll to the mat. Let's see how many times we're supposed to do that. 2 more. Up, arms over your head. Breathe. See if you can stretch your hands towards the opposite wall. Nice and long. Pilates is a lot about creating the length. Drop your hands down and roll to the mat. 1 more. Here we go. Roll up. Over your head. Back down. And roll to the mat. Good job. Take a breath. All right, now we are going to put our hands behind our head, elbows nice and wide, thumbs at the base of your skull. Tuck your chin to your chest. And think about squeezing a walnut to your chest, okay? On an exhale, we're just going to lift our chest up off the floor. Just see what your body wants to do today. So exhale, squeeze, lift that chest up, and roll back down. One vertebrae. All right, what did you feel? Pay attention. All right, so we're not going to be doing these for long, but we're just trying to focus on some fundamentals. So roll yourself, chin up, squeeze, roll back down. Big breath, squeeze, and roll back down. All right. Okay, so notice you'll just go ahead and do that at your pace. Okay, I don't know if you guys have done any recent exercise workouts, but I don't know if like when we did PE and stuff in junior high and high school, didn't they tell us to press the low back into the ground? So exercise science doesn't say that anymore. So here's this will add a new level to your old tricks. Old dogs can learn new tricks. It just takes a lot of focus. So I've been practicing this for almost a year since I took this training. So you want to have a small space under the small of your back. So see if you can tuck your hands right here. Yeah, so focus there. So you have a small little gap. Now, like you're zipping your pants, suck it in, okay, and then try to lift your chest up. It's a lot harder because we're so used to pressing our low backs in. And it's actually easier to almost go high. So just start to think about that as we do these things and you go, oh, wait, I gotta pay attention. So if you're noticing that your head doesn't like to hit the mat, you're free to bring a little pillow or something. All right. So, all right, so now we are going to straighten our legs out. Bring your right knee up to your chest and hug it in. This is a very common move with Pilates. So you're kind of stretching out the back of your leg and also getting some extra flexibility in your hip, which is really important. Okay, then go ahead and hold your leg as you kind of extend it towards the ceiling, point your toes. Okay, now we're going to try to draw a small circle. So get that core engaged together, like you're all zipping your pants, and you've got a little section in the small of your back, pointing and drawing a circle on our toes. Okay, now go ahead and go the other way. Okay, your left leg is staying still. Your upper body is relaxed. Breathe. Okay, so we're just doing a real small movement, keeping our hips level. If we're rocking around, it's too big. All right. Go ahead and squeeze that back in again. Big breath. Switch legs. Squeeze the other leg. Stretch that bottom leg nice and long. Okay, lift that leg up, point it towards the ceiling. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. Try to draw some circles onto the ceiling. Oh, all right. So notice if your jaw is clenched. I do that a lot. Go ahead and go the other way. Okay, so the idea of these leg circles is that those support muscles around our hips are what we really need to strengthen. So we're good with the walking and all that stuff, but the smaller muscles don't always get the attention. All right, hug that knee in. Okay, we're going to roll onto our right side. Perfect. It's been old for so long, for 2 years since COVID. Never got onto my It's too much. All right, so and I got a little gold too. Okay, laying on your right side, you're trying to like line yourself up. Another thing in Pilates is you're always checking your posture, pretty much any exercise, checking your posture. Heads over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips, hips over your knees, knees over your ankles. Okay, so whatever is comfortable for your arm is fine. All right. Okay, then go ahead and see if you can get that core zipped in again. You might be able to get 2 fingers under there, you might not, but you're focusing, okay? And then we are going to bend our bottom knee and find balance while we lift up the top leg. Okay, inhale, flex your foot, point it, kick it to the back. So you're going to notice that as you flex, you're not going to have a lot of motion, right? Point it, start kicking back. Eventually, they're going to kind of warm up, and all of a sudden, you're going to go, oh, kick higher now. Okay, while you're focusing on that core, you want to try to keep yourself from rocking and rolling. So your core is staying nice and tight, nice and slow. I'm not in a race. Forward point. So we're actively strengthening hip and core muscles at the same time. All right, now go ahead and lengthen it. Keep that top leg elevated. And now we're going to do some circles on the opposite wall. Different wall than we drew circles on last time. Yes, you can always rest. We're all starting where we are. Okay, rotate the other way. And there's nothing wrong with rest. Rest is not quitting. All right, good. All right. Bring both heels in line with your spine. And we're going to lift the top knee only, trying to keep ourselves balanced again. If you lost your core, zip it in again. Focus on only lifting that top knee. On any of these things, if I'm saying breathe in and you're breathing out, don't worry about it. As long as you're breathing and not holding your breath, it's okay. So don't focus on doing it right. That's where our hang-up was for a long time. I had to do everything right. And I was afraid to do a lot of this stuff because I was afraid it was going to do wrong. So just kind of being able to relax and focus on some other things and knowing that I have the assurance that I'm not really going to mess up stuff is better. All right. Press ourselves up so we can lay onto the other side, or if you just want to roll over, it's fine. See what's going to screw that in. And you got the cushion back. It's done. Okay, go ahead and get your posture checked. All right. Yes, okay, so we're bending the bottom leg, elevating the top leg, and go ahead and start to do some of those small circles. Core is engaged, so you're not rocking around. You're not. If you're going to, you gotta slow down or go smaller. You have two options. Okay, go the other way. Keep breathing. Keep that core engaged. The bend in the knee, help you balance. You need to put your arm in front, get you some more balance, that's okay. All right. And now we bring our heels back up towards our bottom. Focus on the core again in case you lost it. Okay, only lifting the top knee. I'm sure you've heard this is the clamshell before. This exercise is really good for people with knee pain and hip pain. So a lot of these things, they might be simple exercises, but it doesn't mean they're easy, right? We don't look like we're weightlifting, but we're definitely lifting something, aren't we? All right, let's do 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, we're going to find some space to stretch. So this they call the Z-sit. If your legs don't do this, you can say Indian style, cross leg, however it is politically correct. Applesauce. Crisscross applesauce. There we go. Okay. So Z-sit. Now you want to try to get your weight onto so feel your posture. Now, am I putting my weight evenly on my pelvic bones? So it's awkward in this position because you're kind of on kilter. So you want to try to make sure, oh yeah, now I have weight on both sides. Okay, good. Okay, so it's part of that. It's part of core too. Okay. Stretch arms out straight. Let's do this. Breathe. Palms up. Okay, go ahead and reach up to the heavens. You can look up, feel that stretch on the back of your neck. If you're like me and you carry all your weight and your stress in your shoulders off, you're down wide. Good breath. Rotate them downwards. How does that feel? Okay. And pay attention to those things. All right. Now we are going to lean to the right. One hand drops to the floor. You can listen for me. If you don't look flowy, it's okay. Feel it though. Nice stretch along the side of your body. Back to the center. Great stretch for tight hips. Okay, and remember this is a practice. You're not going to be great at this on the first time. And this is like my 100th time. I'm still not good at this. Right. See if we can switch legs. So health is not a number on a scale. We are not going for sexy bodies right here. We're going for healthy and strong. I know, because we're tighter on one side than the other. You pay attention, and you're like, oh, I need to do more stretching on that side, right? Because can you get kind of this? See, and you don't recognize that. See, yeah, I have to go the other way. Okay, you're very nice and tall. Arms out, palms up. Just a big breath. Sweep your arms up. Drop them wide. You can do palms up. Just my center. Palms down. And okay, go ahead and this direction. Look up at the ceiling, it adds another aspect to it. Slow like a mermaid. So, if you want, you can flip your hair too. I feel a lot of stretching. Hi. Physical therapy. This is what he does with me. Really? Core exercises. Yeah, but you need to do that. How many times a week were you going to therapy? 2? 3? So this is only once a week. I was gonna say, there's nothing like this for therapy. I boast them all the time. All right, center. Creating space for our ribs and our vertebrae. Nice and tall. Roll those shoulders back. So I think you're going to find, even though this doesn't seem like much, these simple movements really give you a lot of energy and feel so much more relaxed and just worshipful, I guess is the words. All right, now's job. Now we are going to move to our knees. So I'm going to fold my mat over a couple of times. All right. Oh. All right. So on your knees, if you can't do this, anybody have any issue? All right. So hands. Hands are under your shoulders. Knees are under your hips. I'm just going to have some more. All right, here we go. So, core is engaged, like you're zipping up that tight pair of jeans, okay? And when you're ready, you're going to go ahead and bring your right arm out in front of you, and you're focusing on balance. So you're trying not to lift one shoulder higher. You're just lifting simply that arm. Okay, bring it back down. Breathe. Okay, focus on balance, and when you can, lift that left arm. Keep that core engaged. Shoulders rolled back and out of your ears. Drop it back down. Okay, we can add a little bit more by pressing back our left foot. Okay, now Now find your balance and then lift that right arm up again. So these are exercises that you can do at home to start to work up to planks. If you're not feeling strong enough to do those, you can drop that down. Stretch out the right leg and lift up the left arm. Breathe. It's crazy how even just going this slow makes you tired. All right, good. Now, we're going to try to do a plank. Okay, stretch that right leg back. Stretch that left leg back. Curl those toes under. Just lift that booty up for a second. 3, 2, 1, down. Good job. All right. So the strength in your arms is going to be key to that, along with core. Jumping down to your knees, rock back on your hips and reach forward. You have done a great job. Okay, round yourself back up. Cat cow maybe a little bit, that'll feel good. Just pay attention. What might feel good right now? All right, we're going to come back to our mat. Our legs out in front of us. So if your knees don't go all the way down, that's okay. If they're bent up, that's okay. Pull your toes back towards you. This is a tough position. So sitting up nice and tall, shoulders are back, good posture. You're squeezing your shoulder blades back. Breathing. All right, now we're going to try to lean forward, reach towards your shins. Find your edge where your body says, oh yeah, that's good. Stop there. And then I want you to just take a big breath. Say, okay, I'm on my edge. I'm here. Now I dive. I can get comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay, I feel that. All right, now I'm going to pull back up. Core is engaged. Shoulders go back. Got tight. It just happens like that when we're in the roll of life. We just automatically go back to our old patterns. Okay, squeeze those shoulder blades back again. Go ahead and reach forward and see if you can go maybe just a little further. Nice long back. Stretching here. Might feel a little bit.
What if you feel a lot of those? You're doing that wrong?
Where? I mean, tension is good, pain is not. So, yeah, so pain, back off. Tension, just go, okay, I'm gonna breathe. I feel that. All right. Good. All right. Sit up as tall as you can, arms behind your head, and now we're gonna just rotate. Right. Feel that. What does that feel like? Tight spaces. You rotate, does it click, lock? I was having a locking up issue a few weeks ago. All right. Center. Okay, so if your hips are tight, this is where you're going to feel this. Just notice what you are feeling when you are stretching. Find an edge and breathe. Come back to the center. Twist. Good. Okay, go ahead and reach forward as far as you can. You might find that you can get further this time. Go ahead and round that back, drop your chin to your chest. See if you can go a little further. And just breathe. Round it back up, one vertebrae at a time. Sit nice and tall. Okay, we're gonna do 2 more reach forwards. So round that back, try to reach. Drop the chin to your chest. You could reach to one leg. Roll back up. Another one to the center. Lean towards the other leg. Just a slight rotation. Feel it just a slightly different place. Roll it back up, one vertebrae at a time. All right. Sweeping your hands up and overhead. Exhale. Bring your legs together. Use your hands if you need support. What are we doing? Bring your legs together. Reach forward. Begin to curl. We're laying back down. That's what we're doing. Like, what we're doing. So we're rolling back down, one vertebrae at a time. All right. There we go. So reach overhead. Now bring your arms in to give yourself a big hug. Know that you are loved, not because of what you have done, but because of who you are. Know that he is pleased with the effort that you have given today, but it doesn't increase your worth and your value. Simply acknowledging your worth and value to him by your care and concern. All right, bring both knees into your chest. It might feel good to rock from side to side. Or just squeeze them in, give yourself a little hug. Breathing. Okay, from here, you are free to do whatever feels good to your body. If your body still feels tight and you want to stretch, stretch. If you want to lay back on your mat and just rest, if you fall asleep, it's okay.
The Proverbs of Solomon.
I'm going to listen to Proverbs 10.
The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise child brings joy to a father. A foolish child brings grief to a mother. Tainted wealth has no lasting value, but right living can save your life. The Lord will not let the godly go hungry, but he refuses to satisfy the craving of the wicked. Lazy people are soon poor. Hard workers get rich. A wise youth harvests in the summer, but one who sleeps during harvest is a disgrace. The godly are showered with blessings. The words of the wicked conceal violent intentions. We have happy memories of the godly, but the name of a wicked person rots away. The wise are glad to be instructed, but babbling fools fall flat on their faces. People with integrity walk safely, but those who follow crooked paths will be exposed. People who wink at wrong cause trouble, but a bold reproof promotes peace. The words of the godly are a life-giving fountain. The words of the wicked conceal violent intentions. Hatred stirs up quarrels, but love makes up for all offenses. Wise words come from the lips of people with understanding, but those lacking sense will be beaten with a rod. Wise people treasure knowledge, but the babbling of a fool invites disaster. The wealth of the rich is their fortress. The poverty of the poor is their destruction. The earnings of the godly enhance their lives, but evil people squander their money on sin. People who accept discipline are on the pathway to life, but those who ignore correction will go astray. Hiding hatred makes you a liar. Slandering others makes you a fool. Too much talk leads to sin. Be sensible and keep your mouth shut. The words of the godly are like sterling silver. The heart of a fool is worthless. The words of the godly encourage many, but fools are destroyed by their lack of common sense. The blessing of the Lord makes a person rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. Doing wrong is fun for a fool, but living wisely brings pleasure to the sensible. The fears of the wicked will be fulfilled. The hopes of the godly will be granted. When the storms of life come, the wicked are whirled away, but the godly have a lasting foundation. Lazy people irritate their employers, like vinegar to the teeth or smoke in the eyes. Fear of the Lord lengthens one's life, but the years of the wicked are cut short. The hopes of the godly result in happiness, but the expectations of the wicked come to nothing. The way of the Lord is a stronghold to those with integrity, but it destroys the wicked. The godly will never be disturbed, but the wicked will be removed from the land. The mouth of the godly person gives wise advice, but the tongue that deceives will be cut off. The lips of the godly speak helpful words, but the mouth of the wicked speaks perverse words.
All right, so when you're ready, you are free to get up and move. So I have some spray at the back to disinfect our mats and okay. Use my verses as much as I thought I would, but oh well. We moved. The Lord was here. All right.